Good morning, everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday. It is the start of a new week. 1 second. I want to go over here so I can see your comments. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Hang on a second. Please don't do that. All right. I'm trusting that I'm not going to touch anything and this is going to work. Good morning, everyone. Hi. As you can probably see, it's a little dark where I am because I'm not at home today. I'm actually out here in California and it is 5 a.m. That's a little crazy for me, but without coffee, here I am. So I wanted to start off this week. Hey, Wanda, good morning. As you guys are joining, come on in and say good morning to everyone. Can you let me know, by the way, that you're hearing me? Can you, I can't see Facebook Live right now because I'm having to use my phone. So Jackie, could you type in the comments just to let me know that you're hearing me? Hey, Chisa, good morning. That would be very helpful. Just want to make sure all the technology is working because I'm using my phone and all kind of different things going on here today. Different lighting, all kind of fun stuff. Hey, Tori, good morning. And can you guys, as you know how we do, just say good morning to each other, give some love in the Money family. Thanks, April, for letting me know that you can hear me. All right. So looks like good morning from Oklahoma. Good morning from California. I love California, by the way. I've been out here now for a couple of days and realizing I really, really love California. So if you're like, Tasha's missing in action, where is she? I probably moved out here or decided to spend some more time out here because I absolutely love it. So good morning, Edwina. I love that you're tagging Kimberly. That is so cool. And thank you, Win, for letting me know that you can hear me. So this morning we're talking about your purpose. And I chose to have this conversation because it's one of the things that I realize people struggle a lot with is what is my purpose? Why am I here? And to the extent that we buy books, we buy programs, we feel sad and unfulfilled, we feel, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves because we have this, I'm meant for more and I can't figure it out. What am I here for? And it's been coming up a lot around me. So you know how I do. I'm like, all right, we need to have a conversation about this. And hence that's why we are where we are today. One quick second. I wish so much that the thing at the top of my screen could go away so I can see what's going on. But all right, you guys are hearing me and you can see me, and that's all that really matters. Um, so I just, I want to, like I said, it's 5 a.m. here. I really want to get back to bed. So this might be the one morning in history that I get this done in 10 to 15 minutes, but I want to get straight to the point. Is I want to encourage you to shift from looking at it as what is my purpose in terms of what I'm here to do. Figuring out your purpose is not at all about doing. It's not, should I be a police officer? Should I be a teacher? Should I be a speaker? Should I should I do these things? Should I do this? Should I do that? What is my purpose in terms of what I should be doing, right? Um, your purpose, and I'm gonna layer into helping you figure it out, but your purpose, one quick second. Um, sorry guys. Uh yeah. Okay. Your purpose is for you not to become concerned with what you should do in life. So actually, can you guys type that? It is not about doing. Figuring out your purpose is not about doing. And that's why we get caught in that loop. What should I be doing? And you can just see if you, especially if you get to like your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you feel like you haven't figured out what you should be doing with your life. I mean, my gosh, that can just take you under, consume you. Valerie says, thank you so much for sharing this. It is not at all about doing. So I want you to, yeah, it is not about the doing. I want you to take the pressure off of yourselves and know that you are totally, it's like you're going in the wrong direction and you actually choosing the path of suffering, because what you're meant to do could be a bazillion things. And why would you want to use your energy to try to figure out of the million things that you're capable of doing, which one of them is your purpose? So I want to shift that outlook and give you this one. Your purpose is about being. How are you here to be? Many of you know by now that one of the things I'm really passionate about is that Our Creator made us in his or her image, whatever your belief system is. So we are made in the image and the likeness of God. We are made in the image and the likeness of God. Whomever you believe created us so that we could be something. What is it that we were created to be? We were created to be imitators of God. I'm a mom. I have kids. I want more than anything else, more than I want my daughter to be a lawyer or a doctor or my son to be an engineer or an architect. I have no idea where life's going to take them and what they're going to do. But what I want more than anything for my kids, I want them to be the way I am being in life. That is what I want. I want them to be good human beings. I say all the time, the thing that makes me the proudest is not when they come home and they're like, oh, I did this and I got this grade and I'm going to this school, and that's amazing. And I'm happy as a mom and I'm really proud. But what's my legacy is that I created two amazing human beings. They're going to be great people. They're going to be loving and kind and generous and sincere and considerate of others. They're going to be good human beings. I want them to imitate what I've strived really hard in my life to do, is to be that person. And I believe with all my heart, and this is not about, this is me telling you what I believe, and you listening to this conversation and asking yourself, do you believe this too? Because I'm not here to tell you it's this way or the highway. What I'm here to ask you to do is to just consider this approach, this outlook, and feel into if it makes sense to you and if it works for you, right? So I believe that our Creator created us, and I believe in God, so I'll use that language. I believe that God created us to be the imitator of God. And what did God do? God created. So in the Science of Getting Rich, it says, you are to become a creator. You are going to get what you want, but in such a way that when you get it, every other man will get what he wants to. And that's the thing. As you're trying to figure out your purpose, step number one is you are here to create. So I want you to begin to write that down. I am here to create. That is my purpose. And I'm going to share with you, you don't have to guess about this anymore. What are you here to create? I'm going to tell you exactly what you're here to create, how you are here to be. You're here to be an expression, an imitation of God. And therefore, if that's what you're here to be, then your purpose, the whole reason why you're here is therefore to create, right? God said, I think it'd be really cool to have the heaven and the earth. I think it'd be really cool to have some trees. I think it'd be really cool to have some human beings. I think it'd be really cool to have beautiful places all throughout the earth. I think nature, what a beautiful idea. I think the oceans and the stars and the sky and the galaxy and the universe. God was like, I think it'd be really cool to create all these things. And that's what we are here to do. We are here to create. But to create what? Exactly. What are we here to create? I love it, Sharon. Sharon's like, I am here to create. So your purpose is not to figure out what you're here to do. It's what are you here to create? What is it that you're here to create? And another way of saying this, Diane, as you guys know, my best friend, is always sharing. She watches Joel Osteen a lot. And she's always sharing with me whenever I get myself in a little rut emotionally. She'll share, Tasha, Joel Osteen says, as long as you're alive, there's a reason God's keeping you alive. What would be the reason? And, in my email that I sent out this morning, I talked about we've all at this point made it through the pandemic. I mean, think about that. So many people have not. Why are you still here? What is that about? Why are you still alive? And I'm not here to preach about taking it for granted or not taking it for granted. What I'm here to say is we need to be making the most of this opportunity called life. I believe, some people, and every time I hear of somebody who has passed away, my number one thing is not so much to be sad, because I believe they were called. It was their time, right? Their time to be here ended, but our time hasn't ended. We're still here. What are we going to do with that time? How are we going to use the opportunity? And um, oh, I'm looking at this, Teresa. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. So here's the thing. If you are still here, what Diane said, Joel Osteen says, is God's not done with you, right? There is more that you are meant to create, and you haven't completed what you're meant to create. The challenge with this is that we have free will. So we all came here with the ability to have a full life, capable of creating everything and all the things that we want and we desire. God put desire in our hearts and said, you know what, Tasha, you know what, Teresa, you know what, Bridget, you are capable of creating this much or this much or this much. Each of us has what we're able to create. And as long as we continue to be alive, we're getting a new opportunity every day to fulfill what we were here to create. So the next question I want to ask you is, are you taking advantage of the opportunity every single day to continue to fulfill why you're here, which was to create the desire that has been placed in your heart? And that desire is not, I'm to be a teacher, I'm to be a doctor, I'm to be a lawyer. What is the desire in your heart? What were you here to create? You don't have to figure that out. You know it. It comes to you innately. So I'm going to use a story about when I was at a crossroads in my life, trying to figure out, I really was, all right, God, like my back's against the wall here, and I have like a blank slate, right? When you have nothing to lose, it's like I have a blank slate. Which direction should I go? And instead of figuring out, well, I should go down the road and become a real estate agent or insurance agent or go get a job, I sat down and I asked myself, what do I desire? How do I desire to be in life? How do I desire to experience life? And I literally said, I'm really clear on these things. I'm really clear that the fullest expression of me, Tasha, I want freedom. I want to be in a life experience where I feel free. I know that the fullest expression of me, I'm really clear. I have the desire to contribute to society as an entrepreneur. I was really clear about that. I didn't know what I was going to be as an entrepreneur. I tell people all the time, I didn't know if I was going to sell banana bread, carrot cake, t-shirts, cookies, pens. I had no idea. It was very clear to me. I didn't have to figure out that my desire was to be an entrepreneur. My desire was to experience freedom. My desire was to do work that I loved and came naturally and felt easy to me. My desire was to live a life of easy and relaxed. My desire was to have financial freedom. How I was going to do those things, what I needed to do to have them, I had no clue. And this is where people get all twisted, because now it's like, I know what my desire is, but I can't figure out what I'm to do to have it. And that's where like you start messing the whole process up. You're trying to figure out what you need to do when you need to figure out what your desire is, and trust and know that how you're going to express that desire will be revealed to you. It will be, I promise you, you won't have to go searching for it. It will come to you once you've become really clear on what am I here to create. So I promised you I would be very crystal clear about what you're here to create, right? So here we go. The Science of Getting Rich says, you are here to eat, to drink, and to be merry when it is time to do these things, in order that you may surround yourself with beautiful things and see distant lands, in order that you may feed your mind and develop your intellect, in order that you may love men and do good things, and be able to play a good part in helping the world to find truth. That is what you are to create. You are to create. Your purpose is to create a life where whatever it takes for you to feel like when it's time to eat and drink and be merry, you can do it. When it's time for you to see distant lands and beautiful things, you're able to do it. When it's time for you to develop your mind and your intellect, you can. What is the life that reflects this in order that you may love men and do kind things, that you may love your fellow human being and do kind things, that you are to create a life that doesn't involve resentment and anger and you know a lack of love, that you are to create a life that's full of love, that you're to create a life that allows you to see all the beautiful things that your heart desires. One of my favorite stories is one of my clients came to an event. She was from the UK and she came to an event in in Florida, and she was talking about coming back in the summer because she wanted to go to the Midwest and chase tornadoes. And I remember going, wow, you think that's so cool. You're going to travel across the world to come back to chase tornadoes. I'm from Florida. That's like hearing somebody say, yeah, I want to come back during hurricane season so I can experience it and see what it's like. Meanwhile, us in Florida, we're battening down and trying to protect ourselves. And here, her idea of what she desires and a full expression of her life is to come see that. Every one of us is completely different. What does it look like for you to see beautiful things? What's beautiful to you? You know, what makes you feel loved and happy and accomplished as a human being? That is what you are to create. And how you will get the freedom to do that, how you will get the money to do it, will be revealed to you. So I shared to you guys with you guys when I was at that crossroads trying to figure out my purpose, for whatever reason, I just intuitively knew, you know what, God, I don't even know how I'm going to do this, but here is the desire you've placed in my heart. I'm really clear about this. This is how I want to express life. And how I'm able to do that has been revealed to me. I could have never told you 8 years ago that I would be in California at 5:15 a.m. doing a Facebook Live because I'm now a mentor or a coach talking about manifesting. Never in my wildest dreams would I believe that this would be the how. I could have never foresaw this. You understand? So I think it's very inefficient to use your time and your energy to worry about what are you here to do, and instead start thinking about what am I here to create. So type that. What am I here to create? What is it that I'm here to create? And start asking yourself, the answer to what you're here to create is, what are the desires of your heart? Another thing that I love from this chapter, and I'm reading from The Science of Getting Rich, if I haven't said that, chapter 5 talks about increasing life. It says, it is the desire of God that you should create a life that's full of riches. What does that mean for you? Rich means rich in health, rich in love, rich means abundant. Instead of rich, use the word. It is the desire of God that you should create a life that's full of abundance in all areas. The kind of abundance that allows you to see beautiful things, see distant lands, develop your mind, love your family. You know, that's the kind of life that you're here to create. And you've been given everything you need to do to create it. The question is, are you using every opportunity to do that? And it says, God wants you to have this life because it is Him that wants it. It is God that wants to express Himself or herself, whatever you believe, better through you. God can only do that, can only express. It's like God can, you know, God allowed us to see the beauty of the ocean by creating the ocean so that we could look out at that vast body of water and go, my God, that is so beautiful. Or to look at a flower and go, God, that is so beautiful. There has to be this majestic, supreme being that created all these things for us to enjoy. And so the question is, why were we created? What is it that God is giving us the opportunity to express as beauty through our lives? It's so that God can express Himself through you. And in order for you to do that, you have to create plenty of things to give Him expression. He can live more in you if you have the unlimited command of the means of life. I'm hoping, Rita, let's see. So Rita put the Jamaican version, Wamadeya Femek, which is What am I here to create? Thank you, Rita, for giving us all the translations of that. What am I here to create? How am I here to express God? That is your purpose. How am I here to express the fullness and the richness and the abundance of God? And what I said in my email, it is the same for us. It's for each and every one of us to figure out for ourselves what makes more life for me. It's going to be different for Rita. It's going to be different for Valerie. It's going to be different for each of us, right? What makes a fuller life, how we express God. That's why people, end up their how becomes being a chef or being a great mom or being a model or being a business owner or being a author. How it gets expressed will be revealed to you, and it's different for everyone. But the foundation of why are you here? You're here to create a life that gives God more expression through you. And all that God wants is for desire that's been placed in your hearts to be fulfilled, for you to use this lifetime to create that desire. Ah, Jackie says, a community of healing for women. Wow. Wow. Lisa, my love, God is above all. I am not really certain. Because you said it, Tasha, finally you have spoken. God is above all. I want to make it very clear. If anyone has ever heard me and is unsure, I want to make it very clear. I believe in God. I believe first and foremost in God. I believe that God created us in his image and his likeness. I might talk about the universe, which is all, everything that was ever created is God. We're all made in the image and likeness of God. We're all parts and pieces of God. We're all expressions of God. So please be very clear. If you're not sure where I stand, let me say it so you all know. I believe in God. And I believe that we were created by God. I give everyone their freedom to choose what they believe, but that is my belief system. All right. Thank you, Lori. Lori's like, yes, you do believe in God. I find it interesting when people are not sure where I stand because yeah, I feel like I'm always very clear about where I stand. Um, Oh my gosh, Wanda says, I've been asking myself for years the same question. I've been asking myself the same question for years. And what I want you all to be very clear about, if you feel like I've been asking myself the same question, I want you to consider that maybe you've been hearing the answer. Maybe you know it. And sometimes what I've found is when people say, I can't figure it out, it's one of two things. You're asking the question, what is my purpose? And you're trying to figure out what to do, and that's what gets us confused. If you instead go to what is my desire, and you become clear about your desire, and then you don't block the answer by saying, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't, I can't figure that out. I don't know the how. That's kind of what gets in the way, is that we get the answer and then our little egos go, yeah, but like if I would have said, well, I want to be, my desire is to create a life where I'm an entrepreneur. I have a lot of freedom. I have financial abundance. I'm doing work I love. I feel fulfilled from my work. My ego could have totally said, really? And how are you going to do that? What do you love? Do you know what you love? Do you know what makes you fulfilled? Do you know what kind of work that is? I didn't have those answers at the time, but I was willing to say, this is what I desire. This is what I know I'm here to create. God, show me the how, bring it to me, reveal it to me. And that's what my life has been about. So I want to thank you, Tracy. You are very clear on your faith in God. Thank you, all of you that know that to be true about me. Thank you for standing for that. So in my notes, I just said, the sooner you figure this out and begin to live it, the faster everything else will fall in place. The sooner you're willing to be honest with yourself, what am I here to create? The sooner everything else, the money, the what, the where, everything else is going to fall in place. You don't even have to figure it out. You don't. It will be revealed to you. And be willing, if the answer comes that, your desire is to be a great mom, or like Diane, I know for years, she was like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And she'll say, my purpose is to be happy. My purpose is to be happy. That is my purpose. And what makes me happy? Well, money makes Diane happy. Managing money, creating money, serving others, watching other people fulfill their own desires. That makes her happy. So her purpose is here to create a life that makes her happy and contribute to making other people find truth, the truth that she knows. Does that make really sense? Oh, Christina says, good morning. Oh, I'm so grateful. Oh, Nikki, create a community of financial savvy women. All right. So why is it important that you figure this out? Because the sooner you create the space and demonstrate trust to allow God to fully express through you, the sooner you say yes to it, you're like, what am I here to create? That's it. You identify it, you commit to it. The sooner everything falls in place, the more you can trust God, and the faster it's going to be expressed through you. It's like you just create the space and you go into trust and allowing, and just these magical things start to happen. So I'm out here in California with my guy. I'm not going to blush about that. I am going to totally blush about that. And we were driving around yesterday, and I was like asking him, have you ever considered like what you do for a living, doing it in this way? And I could tell he was a little perplexed because he'd never thought about it like that. And I was like, don't worry, there's nothing else I'm going to say. I've just planted the seed, and I know if you desire it, how it's going to happen is going to be revealed to you. That's what I want you to know. Whatever you come up with, how you're going to go about it will be revealed to you. So with that, how about we commit? And so I want you all to type, because I love when you type. That means you got it deep inside, new neural pathway. I commit to creating my heart's desires. I commit to creating my heart's desires. The moment you make that commitment, there's a quote by Goth that I love. Once you decide, providence moves too. Inexplicable things begin to happen, things that you, like me, I can't explain how I got here. I cannot tell you this and this and this and this. I can just tell you the moment I decided this is what I desire for my life, this is what I desire to create, all the things started coming together. I can look back and I can see all the things that got me here, but how they started happening, I have no clue. Right? So the moment you commit, I commit to creating my heart's desires. I love it. I love that you guys are all typing that. That's a major commitment, and just trust from there. And all you have to do is just be on the lookout. Go about your life. Do nothing else today. Have a week off because your work is done. Just go about your life waiting for the next step to be revealed to you, and then take it, and then watch for the next step, and then take it, and just keep taking the steps that are revealed to you. Your job is to see the revelation, not to figure it out. I love that you guys are all typing that. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go back to bed. I love you all. Go ahead and type the word reminder on your screen. Go ahead and type the word reminder so that in the comments, type the word reminder. I'm trying to find a little link to show you how to do that. But type the word reminder so that, I can't see that, so that you guys can get your reminder in your Facebook Messenger next Monday morning when I go live. All right, so type the word reminder in the comments. Everybody watching live and the replay, type the word reminder. I love that you get this easy, quick link. You don't have to search for where I'm going live. You just check Facebook Messenger Monday morning, and it will take you right to the video. All right, so type reminder. And oh, by the way, after you type the word reminder, you will get a message from me in Facebook Messenger. So you need to open that message and click, yes, I want to be reminded. And then everything will be taken care of for you. So see you guys here next Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be back home and fully awake at 8 o'clock Eastern to share something wonderful again with you. All right. Mwah. I love you guys. Have a great Monday. Have a great rest of the week. Bye, everyone.